Hi, what's your name?
Brian Vigilant.
Brian, and can you tell us a little bit about what brought you out here today?
Well, you know, you have to come and let your feelings be known, and in fact, once every 6 months is not enough. I mean, I feel like we should be out here every day until this madness stops.
How long have you been demonstrating against war in general? And how long is this something you made as part of your life's work?
It's my whole life, really. You know, from the first time that I saw the 8mm film of when they dropped the test bombs on Bikini Atoll when I was a child at school, I was so horrified by what I saw and so scared when I realized that there was absolutely no escape from that, you know, that it had to stop because, you know, there was nowhere to hide. With that kind of military hardware, there was nowhere to hide, and I remember that feeling very strongly, and the real commitment made at that time to do whatever I could do to stop it. Basically, quite selfishly, really, you know, because I don't want to be involved in any of that, and I don't want it for my children. I don't want it for my friends.
And this gathering today, you've been to a few events like this in London since 2001. How is this event today different from the march in 2002 or the pre-Iraq in 2003 march?
I think there's a realization that we have to shift gears, that we've been doing this now for quite a while and it's become routine. And just like shoplifting is taken into account with the price of goods in the shops, these demonstrations are taken into account by the authorities. Oh yeah, well, a certain number of people are demonstrating, it's going to look like that, and we'll accommodate, we'll manage that, and then we'll carry on and do our dirty business. And I think that we're now understanding that this kind of demonstration is not enough. You know, that it is just catered for. It's managed. It's part of the equation, and we have to be very imaginative now. We have to think and act out of the box, completely out of the box.
Give me a few examples of, you know, if you were to table some creative ideas that can not just help make an effect on our government's war policies or our business corporate war policies, but maybe have a result.
I think we need to be out in the streets every day. You know, I think that just before the war broke out, when all the kids came out in the streets from school, they took off from school, and we were accused of manipulating the kids, which is bullshit, because the war is about the kids' future, and it does concern them. You know, the media, the way the media and the authorities said that this is not children's business. It is children's business, and when the kids come out, they're wild. You know, they go running down the streets. You know, and I mean, I remember seeing the pictures of the police with two little kids, one under each arm, with legs waggling in the wind, and it was hilarious. You know, they're unmanageable, and I think that we have to activate on every level. And you know, kids, you know, it is their future, and they have a right to say something about it. You know, I think, you know, to be more imaginative about how and where we demonstrate. Swarming, you know, it's very controlled here. They know where we are, right? But we could dissipate and appear somewhere else where there isn't everything in place. And then when that starts to crystallize around us, we can vaporize again and appear somewhere else. In newspaper offices, you know, like was suggested, department stores, railway stations, you know, anywhere. You know, it doesn't have to be in such a controlled environment and make our presence known.
Do you what are your thoughts on if this government in the United States were to form a preemptive strike on a country like Iran after all that's been said and all that's been written that we shouldn't do it, that it's the beginning of World War III, but yet we seem to be inching closer towards this reality, even though we know that it's absolutely insane, you know, from many perspectives. How do you feel about that kind of an impending event? Do you think about that?
Well, I think that at that point we have to pull the plug on the system that supports it. You know, just don't go to work. You know, do not support the system that supports this murder any further.
Like a general strike.
Yeah, completely. every level. It's the only way that the mass population can make a statement, other than get violent. And I don't subscribe to violence in any shape or form. But to refuse to participate in any aspect of the machinery that supports this, and we should be doing it now. Never mind wait for something like that to happen. And I think it's reached a point where we need to make a very strong statement, and I completely support that.
Last question is, Brian, are you aware that we don't have a permit to demonstrate today?
So I hear. I wasn't aware of that, but it seems like we have empowered ourselves and given ourselves permission, right? We are the powers that be. When we, the people, lead, our leaders have to follow. They have no choice, unless they, want to behave in a totally outrageous way, which I don't think they want to do at this point anyway. So, we have the power, and we have to really understand that we have the power and exercise that power. Not in a negative way, in a positive way. Yeah. Cool, let's do it every day.
And also, what role do you think the media has changed in the last 10 years with the advent of the internet? And how do you see this? Do you see this possibly the old paradigm of the mainstream media, the linear media? Do you think this is going to have a positive effect on the future? And can we keep the internet free?
Well, I think it's very important that we do keep the internet free. And we find ways to do that. And I know that it's not, governments do not like the fact that the internet has the ability to undermine the party line, to undermine the brainwashing. But the internet itself can be abused, not just by being controlled, but through misinformation. It's all a molten ball of wax, really. And we have to keep our wits about us, on every level, to really tune in to DNA, the DNA, so we are guided fully by our instincts. We're animals, and on that animal level, we can sense what is real and what isn't real. And we really need to tune into that, because the internet's full of a lot of stuff that isn't true, just purely to manipulate or to distract.
One of the positive things that I've noticed on the internet is that the things that attract the most interest online are usually the most real information and the most interesting information. I think people naturally gravitate towards, as you said, instinctively gravitate towards the good stuff. And you see a lot of the monolithic CNN websites, Fox not getting any traffic, not getting any hits, and things like YouTube.
Yeah, but we don't know. I mean, people are attracted to drama and intrigue and conspiracy, but that can be played also. You know what I mean? Human beings seek drama because they have such boring lives. So you feed people a bit of conspiracy stuff and they love it. Chemtrails. I don't know whether chemtrails are real or not. They might be. What is significant about all of that is that the level of mistrust that we have for our leaders, our representatives, that we would even dream for one moment that they would actually behave in such a way. That is a very big issue. Whether they are doing it or not, I don't know whether they are or not. But the fact that we think they might be, that is extremely significant. And very sad. Because I brought up to trust the government and to trust the police, and I don't anymore. I don't trust, they'll smile at you one day and they'll hit you over the head the next, if someone tells them to.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you. Yeah. Interesting. I'd be interested to see that one back.